Yo. No Hollow Knight. No. We must be kind to the people still in the trenches, so figured I'd get some stuff done today. Thanks. It's Porter Robinson. Hey. It's his merch. Matches my my use of cow emojis. How are you today, Selby? Blah, blah, blah. Not bad. Nice. That's better than bad. We take those. Nice. Let's see. Today, I'm going to work on perhaps a PowerPoint. And do my course evaluations. Huge PowerPoint. It's for that exam on Sunday. For today's stream, you'll do one task. Is it playing Hollow Knight? Sleep? Nice. Can't do that and sleep at the same time, so. Thank you. I don't know if it's like a test or like, I don't know. It seems more like an exercise. I don't know if I get graded. So. Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it. I have a raspberry seed stuck in my teeth. Kind of annoying. All right. That's why you hate raspberries? Yeah, but the taste is so good. Can you hear that? The texture is too off-putting? Honestly, I don't mind the texture. And I'm a texture fiend. Although, like, I'm not, like, I won't not eat things because of texture. It's just... Texture is certainly part of the package. Not autistic enough, I guess. I think it just depends on, like, mindset, you know? Very food sensitive. Yeah, I get that. That is a feature of autism, for sure. Not saying. I'm just saying what you said. Any humming? How are we doing on audio? I'm not hearing any buzz. I think we're good today. I think it really was the GPU. I think you might be right, Celebi. Alright. You love being right. Okay, well, never mind. I take it back. No takebacks. Okay. Sounds good. I will be click-clacking, so... Thank you very much. And... yeah, thanks for joining. Happy sleep. Alright. Right. Have a good night. Yo, break time. How are we doing today? Good to see you, wireless. I see that you're screaming for help on that paper. Hmm. Yeah. How did that meeting go yesterday? Thanks for the follow, Sarah. Or Sunny. Or Summer. All of those are good names to go by. Yeah, you had, or sorry, class, yesterday. Sorry. Sarah, perfect. So I got it right the first time, right? Ah, I see. Oh, that's true, yeah. 3-hour interview you had before. Ooh. It's a long interview. Was it like an interview for, to do your thesis? Like data collection or? Yeah. Nice. I did one of those, except for, um, the monk or the venerable that I was interviewing, he is very busy, so it lasted for only an hour. I could have talked with him for like 3. But I didn't record because I felt it was kind of like I wouldn't get the raw. uh, but I didn't have to cite him. I was just, you know, consulting him. So it's different. I didn't need to have direct quotes. Terms and conditions, so you had their legal. Nice. I find that like people have this they start being too careful with their words when everything's being recorded. So I try to I mean obviously this isn't for when I'm doing academic stuff, but I try not to record stuff because people get put off by it. Alright, this is, I think, slowing down my computer here. Okay, that works. The interview was funny though. The professor would sometimes say, please keep this off the record a lot. Dang. what were you guys talking about? That's crazy. When they say it too much though, it's like it seems hard to what am I trying to say? Like it seems hard to know what's on the record or what's off when they're saying it too much. Oh, she need to criticize higher ups. Spicy. So you've got like a you could drop a banger. You could drop a sick diss track. fine because you can still put it on paper as long as you research it. So I just see the off the record answers as to. Oh, yeah, that's true. Wow, you're like a journalist. It's kind of like if you can't find, if this person won't put it on the record, I feel like you just find somebody that will. Somebody unhinged enough to do it. Even without the professor's words, you still know. Yeah, exactly. Good stuff. Most of the data from the interview is disposable because of the changes in my thesis, but it's still provided. Yeah, that the same thing happened to me. I was given like a lot of good avenues on where to like look for Buddhist stuff, and then when I went to go look for it, I was like, I can't find what he was referencing, so I can't. I had to sort of figure out something new. Because the problem with like Buddhist stuff is that a lot of Buddhist texts are very like, well, there's like a billion different English translations, and it's not necessarily standardized, so it's kind of hard to find when people like reference a certain sutra or something. Do I know Sanskrit? No, unfortunately not. I mostly just do my research in English. But I know like the Sanskrit terminology. Like I'll use Sanskrit terminology when you can't translate certain things. So like Shila, Samadhi, Prajna, those sorts of things. It's kind of, especially Prajna, it's very hard to translate in English. Really, all three of them are kind of hard to translate into English because they have like very particular Buddhist Sanskrit meanings that don't have like English parallels. So in my master's project, I just used I basically like defined it, and then I was like, and I'm going to use the Sanskrit from now on because it's more confusing if I say like wisdom for like prajna, especially because prajna and wisdom aren't the same thing. Yeah. But that's just me yapping on random Buddhist stuff. What am I doing right now? I am oh my gosh, I'm struggling to speak. I'm preparing a PowerPoint for a exam on Sunday. The requirements are a bit vague, so yeah. You're Buddhist for about 3 years. That's cool. Yeah, it's there's the organization that I'm a part of. They are having, it's like a lay Buddhist organization. So they're having an exam on Sunday that I was just reminded of, and I got to write a PowerPoint presentation. So, all right. Should we get this bread again? Let's get this bread. Nice. One day I'll fix that command. Today's not that day, but one day. And reminder, for people that are interested, on Saturday, we're going to be doing a web fishing stream. So it'd be awesome to see everybody join. And also join the Discord for better event notifications. Alright, I'll talk to you guys after the break. It's not a break, it's a lock-in session. Break time. I think I might have gone overboard on this outline. I ended up just writing practically an essay. I ended up finding I'm gonna send a message to the Venerable tomorrow because I found an article in a Buddhist magazine that he wrote. He should have told me too. Oh my goodness. It's very good. Well, how are we doing? You're eating lunch. Okay, food review. What are you eating? Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. The heck? Oh, thank you for the hydrate. How do I... Huh? Sinigang and rice. It's really good. I mean, anything with rice is pretty good. So, it sounds right up my alley. How do I... Okay, if I put that there, and then... Because I accidentally took a window out of my OBS, so now I can't put it back in. Oh, there we go. Alright, we fixed it. It's not a koan stream without a little bit of scuff. It's part of, I think it's part of the vibe, you know? It's authentic. Yeah, it's how you know I'm not like a industry plant. No AI here, yeah. I miss too many mistakes to be an AI. Would an AI talk about worms like I do? Maybe AI is caught up. That's true. Oh, I was thinking. So I was listening to a video, and you can vibe check this idea, okay? I was listening to a video today at work, and it was a video on like the male loneliness epidemic, and I found myself being like, I could respond to all these points, in like a way that's not red pill or incel. So I was like, what if I did a commentary, video commentary? We'd live react. I can sit here and go, oh, dude, that's so true. Yeah, it's all good. I mean, I'm just thinking about interesting ideas. Yeah, and be able to see it live. True. Well, one of the positives is that all my VODs are on YouTube. Okay, we're getting one yay from Sunny Sierra. So that's one. Those are 2 votes. Sounds like a plan. Because some of the arguments were like bothering me. Because we've talked about this before, where it's like half the time when you talk about one gender's issues, the other gender has this thing where they're like, well, what about us? And it's like, yeah, we can care about multiple things at the same time, guys. Like, we're not like, this isn't team sports. Like, we can do both. Do I have link? Good question. I feel like also that was my last. I'm gonna make that my last focus session for today. What was it? I looked up like. Okay. Let's see if I can find it. Oh, one of them was like real aggressive. There's one by. Yeah, I didn't watch that one because it was a bit much. Oh my goodness, where is it? Is it this one? Yeah, it was this one. It's from this channel called Runaway Siren 940. It only has 8.8 thousand views, but I mean not only. Like in terms of this topic, it's not many views, but I don't know. It was just a very weirdly I'll put it in the Discord cuz sharing corner. I get well. I wonder if I should make another thing for like. I'll do a new channel for like React links. There we go. Boom. Scream. You also want to have notes. Yeah, for sure we can make discussion threads. Yeah, I ended up I don't know if did I watch the whole thing? I think I did. Um yeah, it just came off as like a really the vibe was all over the place. Like it was supportive, but then there were points where I was like I feel like you're missing the point. But I don't remember what they were, but I know if I watch the video again. Oh, do you guys want me to keep the task list up? If that's helpful? Because I'm done with the pomo sessions, but if you guys are gonna keep working, you can keep the task list up if you want. Yeah, you sure wireless? Yeah, how are you gonna cross out your lunch task? I'm just teasing. Uh, yeah, and I think we can, yeah, especially with like loneliness and stuff. I think uh, this is one of those topics where it's like so many sides have bad. So we could balance it out. We could do, we could react to one like like too toxic like red pill version, and then we can react to like the opposite spectrum where it's men's fault. um Make you cross it out again on a Sunday. Sounds good. My I will say my red pill version of the red pill part of my project is pretty good. Very interesting. Yes, please enjoy your lunch. Alright, I'm gonna switch over to just chatting, because that's what we're doing, and I don't want to give people the wrong idea. Especially with the co-working. And yeah, there we go. Oh, I should probably change the stream. Nice. Okay. All right. What should we do? I think I could. Hmm. Let's see. Webfish. Do a little informal webfish. I haven't webfished because I didn't want to. I didn't want to ruin it for the Saturday stream. Web fishing, it's a game. It's like a little fun little social game where you fish. Um, it's very good. It's basically like what if you took like the fishing mini games in like Stardew Valley and Animal Crossing, and then you just made the whole game that and nothing else. And you gave them cigarettes and like gambling and beer. And hackers, I guess. Yeah, and guitar and chalk. True. All right. Oh, I didn't mean. Oh, all right. We're putting this here. Hmm. What it? Hmm. Let's see. We can react to some stuff. Does anybody have any videos that they'd like me to react to? Let's try this out. No, I haven't done this on stream yet, so. Yeah, if you have something to suggest, send it to the React Links channel. And I'll check it out. You haven't been watching anything of substance lately? That's fair. I mean, Gilmore Girls is substance. They be using a lot of substances. Is Gilmore Girls the one with the mom, the young mom? I think my sister was watching that. She came home on break, I think last year, and she was just watching. She just sat on the couch and watched Gilmore Girls like the entire break. Respectfully, respectfully. It's pretty funny. Like, you end up watching like half the show when you're just walking in and out of rooms. It's a comfy white American show, but not in a negative way. Yeah, we got shows like that. What's a comfy? I like Community, but I don't know if that's comfy. Is this my YouTube channel? No. That would be Modern Family. Oh, yeah, that is pretty good. I feel like I've never like watched it in order. Like I've just watched like random clips of Modern Family. What's my favorite show? Hmm. Maybe Avatar: The Last Airbender. Maybe. Um. I think an underrated show is the Joe Pera TV show. That one's really good, but I feel like people wouldn't get it. Like it's got a charm to it, but it's a yeah, of course Avatar. It's great. It's just Avatar is like a great I don't know. I feel like it's a great show for I mean, because I was a kid when it was first coming out, and I feel like it's a very Aang is like a very positive male role model, you know. So I think it was good, and Uncle Iroh is just so based. Uh, did it inspire me to be Buddhist? I've thought about that before. It didn't, but like it might have like uh influenced me unconsciously. That wasn't the reason. I think it could. I could have been more open to like Eastern philosophy and like meditation and stuff because of Avatar. It's highly possible. Is there an Avatar: The Last Airbender to Buddhism pipeline? It's I don't think it's a bad question to ask. I think there's something there. Cuz like the air nomads are literally just Buddhists. Um you don't dislike the Korra? I I actually think Korra is all right. The problem is that the bad part about Korra is the main character. For me, like I find Korra to be very annoying. Like she's just like not a good person, and uh, that's annoying. I think at least with Aang, when Aang messes up, like we know he's a good person deep down, you know. But with Korra, it's we don't. I think it's a harder sell. She's kind of like a bad person to her friends and stuff. Um, oh, anti-hero. You know, I didn't think about it like that. I I think Korra is fine. I think I like the world and like the world building. I like Tenzin and like I thought the Red Lotus idea was really awesome and like what's his name? Uh the guy that like achieves enlightenment and like uh learns how to fly. That guy's really cool. And I like that they give us like the philosophy of all the bad guys. I think it's pretty cuz the bad guys I think in Korra are a lot more morally gray. Like the Fire Lord is kind of just like a generic baddie. Like he's obviously bad. Like I don't think there's any perspective where we're just like, yeah, I get what he's doing. But for the villains in Korra, they all have like they're all kind of based a little bit. Like Amon or whatever his name, like the anti-bender guy. Yeah, Zahir. Yeah, Zahir like was kind of based. He was just kind of like an anarchist, and Amon was just like I guess like a uh he didn't what was his ideology? Like he didn't like the division between benders and non-benders, so we should get rid of bending kind of thing. But then he just ended up being a bloodbender, right? Sorry, spoiler alert for the show that came out like probably more than 10 years ago. Yeah, Zahir was pretty based. At the end of the day, they don't really have much of a say when they're chosen, and I like Korra. Yeah, I do think like people, um, Korra to me is more like all the other avatars. Like if you think about Avatar Kyoshi, Avatar Kyoshi is kind of like not a great person. Um, and the other avatars, like, because I remember when in like the flashback scenes, Aang would be like, "Guys, can I get some advice here? Like, it's making me feel conflicted that I like have to fight people, but then I'm also like a pacifist." And then people were just like, "Suck it up, little boy." All the Avatar, like the past lives, were like, "Suck it up, little boy. Just throw hands." Which I'm like, okay, I feel like that's not helpful, guys. But I feel like that's exactly what Korra would say. Like, you know, sometimes you just gotta kill people. Which is not, in my opinion, the right answer, but like, it's the answer that all the other avatars gave, so like, she's not exactly special in there. I think Aang is actually exceptional because he's like, from the avatars that we see, he's like the most moral one. Yeah. I kind of like the spirit world too, although I did not like the big like I didn't like the lore really behind like Um, what are the two people? The like big old jellyfishes, the manta rays. I didn't really like that, but I liked Avatar One's story. I thought that was really cool, and I like that they like changed up the art style. I think that's like a super underrated part of the show. Um, like getting to know the first story, like the story of the first Avatar, was really awesome. But I felt like they could have ditched the whole like yin and yang spirits thing. That's kind of like, I don't know. I feel like they kind of detracted from the whole Avatar thing. And I think a lot of people were mad that like Korra killed the connection with all past avatars, but honestly, I think I'm okay with that. Like, it is what it is, but you know, somebody's got to mess up. It was her that messed up. Yeah. Just because you're an avatar doesn't make you safe for making oopsies, for sure. However, like, I think like I can empathize and understand her as a character, but the problem is when you gotta watch it happen, and it's kind of like when you're watching it happen, if the character is like too like stupid, you're you end up sitting there and being like screaming at the TV, like, "What are you doing?" uh, I think part of the thing that made Aang special too is that like he was very self-reflective, and Korra didn't start out like that at all. She's very like egotistical, where Aang was not at all. Uh, yeah, which makes it harder. And I'm sure you could do like a feminist commentary on like um, I think I think there is something to be said like if there was a male avatar and he was like that, I think people would probably be more forgiving. But because Korra's a woman, I think people find that more annoying. Um, but I think for me personally, I don't think I that bias is within me too much. I think I find that quality equally annoying, annoying in both genders equally. So yeah, there's definitely discussion. The problem is like you can't. Yeah, anti-hero bias. Yeah, people like to bring up that discussion though. It's kind of like a get out of jail free card. I think sometimes. Like I remember with Captain Marvel, everybody was just like, "Oh, you just don't like strong woman and like woman with an ego in media." But like I think people just didn't like that movie because it was a bad movie. I don't think it had anything to do with her character. Well, I mean, I think the character probably had something to do with it, but yeah, I didn't watch it. I saw clips of it, and it just did not give me the vibe of a good movie. Like, yeah, and I don't know over there, but in America there was a lot of mixed reviews. People did not like Brie Larson. Uh, but I think I remember watching a couple video essays on it from like people that aren't unhinged. And I remember them saying like, because part of the argument was like, oh, you guys like watching Iron Man and like Robert Downey Jr. being an ego, like a narcissist, but like when it comes to female characters, that you don't like it. Um, but then somebody pointed out that like Robert Downey Jr. and that character has more redeeming qualities, but like Captain Marvel's character is kind of just like a butthole. So it's, you know, there's like a difference between lovable mean person and just a mean person. I remember watching. I think Wonder Woman had similar criticisms, but that movie, I don't think it had anything to do with Wonder Woman. I think the plot was just bad. Like they switched up the villain at like the last minute, and it was just like a bad twist, and it made me feel like the whole movie was a waste of my time. And then after the Death on the Nile movie, I think I realized that Gal Gadot is just a bad actress. Like she's just not very good. Man, some of those line deliveries, I was like, good thing other actors are carrying this movie because it would be way worse. Oh, convinced to watch more of Batman. I think wireless. Have you? How do you feel about reading? Because there's a really good graphic novel that I think you might find pretty cool. Um, there's a Batman story, uh, Batman Arkham Asylum, came out in the 80s, I believe, and that's what the Arkham Asylum games are based off of. Uh, and that comic book is, I think the artist and the writer refused to work together ever again because the artist was taking too many creative liberties. But like the artwork is so amazing. It is kind of hard to read, just like from a practicality standpoint. But yeah, I would suggest reading Batman Arkham Asylum. The plot point is like, uh, oh no, you're fine. You don't have to watch the video essay. I was just, um, the plot is that like the Joker takes over Arkham Asylum and then basically says we're not releasing hostages until Batman comes personally. And then Batman shows up and then he starts to question like am I the insane one? Which is like I think nowadays we see that trope a lot, but I think this one was one of the first ones to sort of like question Batman's sanity, which was pretty cool. Let me see if I can pull up some pictures. Okay. Anyway. Oh, did not mean to do that. There we go. And we can do like a little bit of this and then yeah. There we go. Can't really. Yeah, that works. Whatever. Yeah, so this one, yeah, the art is really cool. Um, you can kind of see that like it's kind of scrapbooky. So some of the pages are like crazy. Yeah, it's definitely more of like an artistic experience than a. I don't know how to describe it. Like it's not a comic book. It's like an art comic book. Yeah, because like there's some comic books where the story kind of like carries it. I think like Watchmen. I think um the AI, the Jonkler. Oh, great. Yeah, premium photo. Yikes. Yeah, pretty cool. Yeah, the Jonkler. AI art, like you can kind of tell when anything's AI art though, just based on vibes. Like you can look at it and be like, this lacks soul, or maybe that's just bad art. Because I don't think I could like tell AI generated corporate art. Because you know, like corporate art, um, how it just like is devoid of anything. It's just like to look good. I feel like AI art could do well there because it doesn't have a soul, so it just like or it doesn't have spirit. I don't know. Big corpos use AI art now and just have employees to polish them and not make it look like AI and experience of your friend. That makes sense. I feel like that's pretty much what copywriters do right now. Is like AI generate an article, then edit it to be more human, and then boom. No, you're fine, wireless. Don't feel like you have to. You're fine. Okay, okay. No worries. Just you know, take it at your pace. No worries. Hmm. You'll be working again in 5 minutes. No worries. Letting the food settle down. That's a yeah, good Good idea. Don't wanna let it upset you. Sense8. Oh, I've heard about that one. Is it good? I mean, obviously, if you're saying it's your favorite show. Is, have you ever watched, oh man, what's that show called? Something Pines? It's like a paranormal mystery thing. Pine TV show. I don't think that's gonna come up with anything. What was it called? It's your ritual to watch Sense8 every year? Dang, it must be pretty good then. Can you quote all the lines from it? No. At some point you gotta memorize all of them. Oh, you cry every time. You know, every time, you know, what's the episode called? Like Iroh's Day Out or something. The one with all the, like, with the Iroh scene, with leaves from the vine. I think I'm gonna make it. But then towards the end of the short, I'm like, ooh. I think every time I'm like, this time I'm not gonna cry. Not every time, but like sometimes it'd be just hitting out of nowhere. It's just so sad. Leaves from the vine, falling so slow. And I'm sitting there like, oh, Iroh. And then he's like, if only I had been there for you, my son. And you're like, oh. You're sitting there like ugly crying in front of your screen like, yeah, that episode hits different. It kind of sucks too, because like the other shorts are pretty good, but the problem is like they're in the same episode as that one short, and so all of the other ones just kind of feel like eh. But like every single scene of that short is like just perfect. I think Iroh is my... I want to be like Iroh when I grow up. That's a cool dream. Yeah, it is. Thank you. I'm gonna be bald and then grow a gray beard and drink a lot of tea. I'm getting there. I drink tea. I can grow a pretty crazy beard. It's ginger though. It's very weird. Yeah. So then I get like a lot of questions like, "Oh, do you dye your hair?" But no, it's just like my beard color and my hair color are like completely different. But it's pretty full. Like it gets there. Am I ginger? Um No, I honestly, I think it's just because like the emotes, it just tends to have like a more reddish tint on it. Um, but honestly, it is kind of weird. I'm noticing more ginger hairs. Like I used to have like really really dark hair, but I don't know. As I'm getting older, I'm getting more ginger hairs. It's kind of weird. I don't know how that works. Too bad Celebi, the med student, is not here. She can explain to me why the heck I'm the chosen one. Yes. Somebody did propose though that it could be because I've always been ginger and that I'm just a really really dark ginger, which I don't know if uh maybe. I'm a dark ginger. like a like a dark elf but ginger. Reminds me of like the Tumblr, I'm a dark feminist. Oh yeah, wireless. I meant to tell you. I found on my Twitter feed somebody uh unironically used oomphy in a Twitter thread that I was looking at. And I was like, "Oh no." And that's when I read it, I was like, "Yeah, I'm too far gone. I got to get out of here." I think it's kind of a good litmus test to tell when you are too far down the Twitter pipeline. When you're too lost in the sauce is if you start seeing the word oomphy in like a thread, in a Twitter thread, you're probably oh my goodness, Saw, nice to see you. Yeah, we ended not well like 40 minutes ago maybe. Yeah, it's going pretty good. Um, I got my master's project approved and I'm gonna get a diploma for that, so that's pretty awesome. Or wait, what do they call it? A certificate? I don't know. Yeah. Okay, you work in 2 minutes now for real this time. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, it was a lot this semester, but we get through it. I'm sure everybody else will succeed in everything as well. What did you miss, Saw? Um, I have a Discord now. That's cool. I think, were you here for the emotes? We got emotes now. Um, what else? Oh yeah, thank you for the subscription, by the way, Saw. Appreciate it. Um, of course, nobody ever has to subscribe, but when people do, I appreciate it, because to me it indicates that, like, the community, um, it's not a while. So, yeah. Oh, it's been a while. Okay. I was like, oh, secretly, lurking. Impressive. Yeah, it's been a little bit, but you know, I think that's part of people come in and out all the time. You know. But I see the yeah. I wasn't gonna say anything, but it's a classic Saw thing to be fighting with autocorrect. For sentences to be like complete, it's like the most crucial word in the sentence, and it's just wrong. I wonder if your autocorrect has something against you. It's like on purpose. But yeah, I think the stream has been going pretty well. It's been awesome. Okay, lock in. Of course, love having you here. Good luck. Usually text in Spanish. Oh, okay, that makes sense. Oh, yeah, and I bet the keyboards are similar enough to where it's like you could forget. I don't get the problem in Japanese. It's pretty immediately obvious. um it's exactly the same. Yep, that would do it. Oh, so I wonder, so does that mean the autocorrect sometimes tries to correct it to Spanish words? Sometimes, most of the time, it's some random English word. Yeah, I feel that. Do you have a, well, here's the question. Is it an iPhone or Android? Because in my experience, the Google keyboard is a lot better. And I feel like sometimes the Apple recommendations for autocorrect are just like completely off. Same thing with like the assistant. Like Google Assistant is pretty good. Um, I'm glad it did not activate. Uh, but yeah, Siri is not great. Sometimes it's your fault. Yeah, I mean, it happens. Okay, yeah, there you go. It's Apple. Yeah, I think people still think Siri's pretty bad, huh? I feel like I've heard that sentiment recently. How's streaming been so far? It's been pretty cool. Siri's gotten worse. I don't know how that's possible, but uh, yeah, streaming's been great. I think I was excited for affiliate because it meant that we could do more fun things like focus points and emotes and uh, I have an ominous button to run ad breaks that I never touch because I think that doing, especially during study streams, just hitting the ad break button, that would be brutal. Just like Oh, I hope you're enjoying the ambiance. Here's a button to kill it. They're not introducing AI, which they're training on all your text and app history. It's gross. Oh. Yeah, that's... Oh, is that the one that's like, it's... They're saying it's localized AI, like it's in a private cloud. I mean, honestly, my text and app history is so dry that like, at this point, it's... I have nothing sensitive in there. I'm not really worried about that. I'm always like, yeah, go ahead and try to leak my stuff. It's gonna be like nothing. I think it's also why I sometimes get confused when people like get canceled, because sometimes you read like the message leaks and you're just like, really? You went with that? Like you thought you could just say that? Okay. In text. Especially like in text, it gives you... I mean, it's one thing for like typos and stuff. But like text, you type it out and you have like a moment before you hit send. Like it doesn't have to be stream of consciousness. You don't like being aware of how little privacy you have now. I think I kind of accepted it because I was really into like privacy for a while. Like I was using like Telegram and more like I was using like Tor browser and stuff for internet browsing just because it was like more secure. But then once you get to the certain point, it's yeah, it is practically non-existent. Like if you basically, in order to have any sort of privacy at all, you just basically have to go back in time and not make a Google account or not make an Instagram account. You know, like you can't undo those things. So these companies will just forever have your data. So can't really do anything about it. And like you can like I've looked into, not recently because at this point, oh, sorry. It's just not practical. Like there's too much convenience. Like it's more convenient to have a Google account and have your data leaked, or like have your data being sold, than to like go find third party like Firefox based like maps and all these alternative options. But the trade-off is like you lose a lot of good utility. Like Google Maps, Waze, these are really good resources. You're gonna be kind of screwed in LA traffic if you don't have those things and you're using like some secure Firefox based thing. So many doctor's offices use online checking, and so much of your medical information is online now. Scrubbing your info off. Yeah, it is basically impossible. Yeah, I don't even think it's practically impossible. I think it's just impossible. Like, period. But I honestly think that there should be a class, and I was fortunate enough. My middle school, they had a computer, what do they call it? Like internet safety or something. Basically, it was like a class that was all about like teaching you like how to be an online citizen, that kind of thing. Like, of course, people are going to ignore that, but to my knowledge, all my classmates of like 28 people, none of them have done anything unhinged, which is impressive. So these businesses claiming that they can clean your history and personal info off the internet, like how? I think it has to do with there was a bill passed a couple years back or something, where if you request places to delete your data, they'll do it. The problem is that it's such a hassle that like it's kind of not useful to do as a individual. So I think those companies specialize in sending out those requests for you to, like, your data to be deleted. What do they teach on how to be an online citizen? Essentially, like, if you don't want like a future employer, or if you don't want like somebody else to see it, you probably shouldn't post it, even if it's on like a private account. Things like that. And privacy oriented stuff, like you shouldn't share these things. I mean, it was a middle school class, so it wasn't like really in depth. But I think it's useful to like set those as a foundation. Because not many people get that sort of interaction. Like they're just kind of set loose onto the internet with no, I don't know, with no awareness into like how bad it can be. Right. Essentially, don't share your personal, and don't be in. Yeah. Well, I mean, you'd think that's pretty obvious, but apparently it's pretty hard. Like, I don't know. I feel like most problems online come from people not doing those things. It's pretty easy to be like, I don't know. Like I said, it's a lot different than on voice call, because you can just yap yap and yap, but with text it's a lot easier to take a step back and sort of be like, is this something I want to post? I mean, I've found myself like taking a step back recently and thinking like, do I want to engage with this post? Because like, is it useful? No. Okay, I'm not going to. Yeah, being very gullible and dumb doesn't help either. Yeah, those are both factors, and not a good time on the internet. And people have new creative ways of getting stuff out of you nowadays. They like pretend to be your friend, or like pretend to be interested, and then they hit you with the 1-2. What do you really gain from it? Yeah, exactly. Like, I think in certain contexts, like in a non-argumentative thing, like I think it would be useful to post things that are like, I think you made some good points, but I think, here's some weaknesses in this argument, and like, I think that, these things are wrong. I think things like that could be helpful to like a discourse, but like arguing with people just doesn't seem to really be helpful at all. It just like makes people feel defensive, and just they dig their trenches further into the ground, which isn't really what you want. half the time, most of what I want to comment is like I'll see a thread. Like the other day, I saw a thread on Twitter that was like, "This person made me uncomfortable," and like I was reading through the thread, I'm like, "This isn't even really that bad." Like this is just somebody being awkward. And then I wanted to comment, be like, just log off and touch grass. Like, if somebody makes you uncomfortable on Twitter, just like block them and move on. It's not that it's not that deep. You don't have to like post a thread about how this person made you uncomfortable. I don't know. Like, people just argue or yell or jeer at each other. Yeah, I mean, it's like I've said, social media, it succeeds by making you feel emotions and righteous anger and like a sense of justice. These are things that they can capitalize off of. So, every time you feel that way and you feel like you need to say something, you're just sort of like enabling social media. Tyler the Creator quote about cyberbullying. What was it again? He was like, I mean, I do think like harassment is one thing. Oh, the cyberbullying real thing. Yeah, I don't. I mean, I guess cyberbullying, because sometimes like you, I've heard some really bad stuff. Kids these days have like some new messed up ways of bullying kids. Not good. Yeah, I mean, I think some cyberbullying is kind of like, I think there's levels, like there's a very minor level where it's just somebody. I think the minor level is just humans being imperfect and like being sort of like clumsy, and it's not really cyberbullying. It's just people being messy. And then I think the level above that, like moderate, is where it starts getting like you can't really avoid it. Like people that say that like, oh, I think there's some real arguments for the sort of experience of being a woman online. I've sort of seen it secondhand, and that's not really doesn't seem to be a pleasant experience. In some spaces. So that sort of thing where I think that's a moderate level to where it's not like sometimes it's not like outright crazy, like yeah, not great. And it's sort of subtle, right? Like I imagine it's just exhausting. Yeah. And in those cases, you can't just like block everybody because it's like you sort of kind of face it everywhere. So in those sorts of cases, it sucks, but like it almost seems like the only like viable solution is to sort of build resilience as a person, because as much as it would be great for the world to change and the world should change, in that sort of case, how realistic is it? Like, are you going to sacrifice your Um, sacrifice your mental well-being. It's exhausting, makes you aware of how spaces you're still not welcomed in. Yeah. How many? How many what? I do think that sort of like seeing spaces that you're still not welcomed in, I think. Oh, okay. I see. Um, how many space? Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. Um, I do think that's a common experience. I think for a lot of groups, though. Not just like women. I think that's pretty common. Yeah, I got you. I also think though that there's if you're not welcomed in a space, like it can be sad, but at the same time, if those are the people that you're going to be hanging out with, you know, is it really going to be good for you? Like it's almost better to sort of like suffer through the isolation until you get to the people that like are really good, I guess. But then it also, you know, it can be kind of concerning because sometimes people do that, but then there's people that like pretend to be good, and so that's how they get sucked into various pipelines. Especially with men, I think, you know, men being lonely, men feeling like they don't have purpose. That's like a prime target for red pill and incel forums and sort of like extremist ideology. Yeah. Oh, perfect. Thank you. Making it easy for me. Oh, that's so funny. It permeates into the yeah, for sure. Yeah. Was that my first? Oh no, we've gotten a couple before. I get it maybe once a week. Yeah, I've made it. That's how you know that I'm not botting my streams. If I was botting my streams, I'd have more viewers. And it wouldn't be, well, I think I would, yeah, I would still ban the spam accounts, I guess. And on a streamer, yeah. Um, I was reading this, there's a it was like in a Buddhist book, but I think it's just applicable to being a good person in general. Um, Basically, like when you're undertaking anything, um, the idea is that it should be with the right motivation. Like if you're pursuing, um, like if you open up a hospital for profit, you know um, that's not good. You're not pursuing wholesome things, and so you're not going to be cultivating virtue, I suppose, is what you could say. Um, Same thing with like if if I stream here, right? And this is kind of how I think about it. If I stream here and I'm doing this to pursue like fame and money, I don't think that's like a healthy thing to do. Um, but I think my mission to because I wanted to create like a sort of a community that like can support each other in achieving goals and stuff. And I think I have um, I think my goals in doing this aren't really motivated by like fame and money and status and that kind of thing. If I go into healthcare to scam and cause suffering for thousands of people, that's not good. You might get murdered. Yeah, exactly. And that's essentially just what karma is. Karma is just cause and effect. Like if you do bad things, you get the bad result usually. Just because like people get mad and like it just comes back on you in ways that it's not like super mystical. Oh, also, is that a reference to that recent CEO that got murked? Was that person a healthcare CEO? I'm not up to date on the lore. I did see that they were smiling. It was kind of creepy. Yeah, exactly. Like, do it to help others. And even like with the game, like when I'm playing games or like when I'm thinking about doing other things, I'm not doing it because like the number would go up. Um, I don't know. I'll do it because like we were playing Hollow Knight yesterday because Celebi wanted to sort of share that experience with me and everybody else, and that was really awesome. Um, we're gonna do the web fishing on Saturday, like community web fishing, and yeah, we have the Discord server now as well. Yeah. So these sorts of things, I don't know. I feel like it's better that way. I do think when people expand what they do beyond themselves, I think it's a good thing. I think it's good for, I don't know, in my experience, it's good for mental health. You want to take tomorrow off? That stay away from the internet? Then yeah, that's good. Yeah, I think the more you can focus on providing or like serving others, I think it's I don't know, it's helpful. But there's a balance, you know. If you can't pour from an empty cup, and I'm working on that one. um, yeah. All right. Well, I think on that note, I'm gonna head off. It's kind of getting late here, and I work tomorrow, so I want to make sure that I'm rested. But yeah, it was awesome to see you, Saw. I hope you have a good rest day, and I hope to see you again as well. It's always a pleasure talking. Yeah, exactly. It's so hard to continue helping others when you don't get a lot in return, for sure. Yeah. Yeah. I'll see you. Yeah, sounds good. Do I still do afternoon streams? Depends. This week I haven't really because I was doing random stuff on Wednesday. Um, and we'll see on Sunday because it's looking kind of it's looking a little iffy. It looks pretty jam packed. We'll see. um, but yeah, I'll definitely be streaming earlier, probably on. Well, not probably. I will be streaming a couple hours earlier than 9 on Wednesdays and the weekends. And it might change in the future. But yeah. All right. Well, on that note, thank you everybody for your support and for chats. I enjoy the chats a lot. But yeah, I'm gonna go pass out. Alright, I'll see you around. Peace.